Hello, Erin.
Hi.
Thanks for coming out today.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. So can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your fitness goals before we get started?
I'd like to lose about 60 pounds.
Got you. So, where are you originally from?
Born and raised in Christiansburg.
Born and raised in Christiansburg, right? Okay. So you're telling me you want to lose 60 pounds. What do you like to do around Christiansburg?
I don't really get to do much other than work at the moment.
Got you. Working a lot in Christiansburg with that. Yeah, I noticed you have really nice shoes on. Do you do very much walking or activity around Christiansburg?
Yeah, every once in a while.
Great, awesome. So, why is it important to you to lose that 60 pounds?
Well, a few years ago, I was able to lose 60 pounds and I felt really good. And, once my job situation changed, it's almost like I just got out of the routine and just gained it all back. And I just want to get back to where I used to be.
Got you. So, just to make sure I'm listening to you and understand what you said, you lost the 60 pounds before, but you had a recent job change and just a change in lifestyle, and that weight seemed to creep back to you. Does that sound true to you?
Yeah.
Got you. Okay. So you'd like to move in that direction to lose the weight and then, maybe know how to do that, right?
Yeah, before I was using MyFitnessPal and counting the calories all the time, and that really worked for me. And watching nutrition intake, but now it's just like it's a pain to count all those calories and stuff. It's just a hassle.
Got you. But in the past, you've had success with MyFitnessPal, counting the calories. So
and it takes a lot of work.
Yeah. So obviously you have the discipline to keep counting and follow up, and you lost that 60 pounds in the past.
Yeah.
Got you. So at this point, looking at, say, a mountain, that mountain is like, hey, that's 60 pounds you'd like to climb over and lose. From a scale of 1 being, you're not motivated, versus a 10, totally committed, what number would you choose between 1 and 10?
Let's say about an 8.
An 8, okay. Can you tell me a little bit more about why you chose an 8?
Because it's a large goal, so I'm working full time. Just have to figure out what the best time is. So I definitely think that there's a lot of motivation to get to that point, but it's also challenging. So I just want to see where I can get started.
Gotcha. So you know that time is going to be an obstacle when you see that 60 pounds, and obviously like getting back in a routine with your schedule and whatnot.
Yeah.
So a couple obstacles with that. Okay. So, you talked a little bit about what's held you back in the past for achieving these goals. Besides time and your work schedule, what else has held you back from losing this weight?
Motivation.
Motivation. Okay. Tell me a situation with motivation that it's like you want to do that thing, but it just doesn't happen. Like, what happens that you can't do it?
Well, it's just, I know how much work it took to get to that point before, and now it's just almost like I dread it.
Okay, so you feel the dread, you remember how much work it was to get back to that point.
Yeah.
Okay, got you. Okay, so motivation is definitely something I can help you with. Will really get you aiming at exactly what you need to do and the small steps you need to take that will accumulate over, the 3-month program and whatnot. So let's talk about a little bit more information from you. Would you like to focus on nutrition related to your goal?
Yeah, I think that's an important part.
Okay, so what I can offer are some meal plan services. We can talk about some maybe pre-prepared meals that you can purchase that show up to your house, or either we can think about, how can you cook on your own and eat across the board that's going to help you lose weight. How does that sound to you?
Yeah, it sounds interesting.
Okay. And we also want to understand too that that's going to be the key for changing your body shape. So if you really want to change your body shape, the nutritional component is going to be more important, in my opinion, than the actual exercise.
Okay.
And we'll talk more about that as we start to look at the programs.
Sounds good.
So right now, what are your energy levels like throughout the day?
I have a lot of energy. Definitely a morning person. But energy starts to fade as far as like wanting to work out. Like I used to work out in the afternoon because I had a job where I got off at like 2 o'clock. And so I would just work out and then go home and relax the rest of the evening. So evening times are my time to just relax.
Got you. So when you start your day, you feel a lot of energy, and then you're working, obviously. So when you get towards the end of your day, you notice a lower amount of energy. Is that what you're saying?
Maybe. I mean, I guess just the evenings are really important for me to just kind of just relax a little bit.
Just relax a little bit.
So definitely feel more energized. The beginning 2/3 of the day, I guess.
Beginning 2/3. Okay. All right. So in the past, how has exercise failed your expectations?
I don't know that it failed my expectations. Just the fact that you gotta do it all the time.
So keeping up with it over a longer period of time.
Yeah.
And this also allows us to look at the timeline to ultimately losing that 60 pounds. So in my opinion, as a trainer, that would generally maybe take 6 months, even 12 months.
Yeah.
So that would be a realistic time frame.
I was able to do that within like a 4-month period when I first got started because I was just really on it.
Got you. So you're looking at what's sustainable versus what's going to be fast and maybe not as sustainable, right? So we'll be able to look at those details more. So are there any medications or supplements right now that would affect your training?
No, nothing that I can think of. No.
Okay, great. Do you have any additional health concerns or medical issues that we need to be aware of?
Nope.
Okay. How long do you think ultimately it took to develop the 60 pounds that you'd like to lose?
I'll probably say that it's developed over the past few years.
Over the last few years. Okay. So how many times in the past have you tried to keep this weight off? When you knew, it was already off, how many times have you tried to keep it off?
Just that one period, guess about maybe 3-4 years ago, where I was just really, really on it, and had a lot of success, and then schedule changed and routine changed, and hasn't been the same since. So.
Okay, routine change, job change, all these different things affecting ultimately keeping the weight off and finding a balance in your lifestyle. So we're looking at, hey, you've got maybe a lack of what you need to know to keep the weight off, and understanding what your aims are, the motivation. So not knowing exactly what's going to keep you going, those two things, right? And then also what to eat, maybe a lack of, hey, what do I do in the kitchen? How do I stay consistent with that, especially through the different parts of the year? That will ultimately maybe keep the weight loss more sustainable long term with that. So those three things, right? So we talked about how you've solved this problem. You've done it before. So ultimately, we've got to take these principles of motivation, nutrition, and knowing how to develop a routine and make sure it works for you to make it sustainable.
Okay.
So why do you think ultimately you failed to keep this consistent each time you tried?
Can you repeat the question?
Why do you think you failed at keeping the weight off?
Just because I gave up on the routine. I think what happened was I went to the gym. I was going to the gym one day, and I was doing a leg press, and all of a sudden I felt sick. So I ended up leaving, and then I ended up being sick for like 2 weeks, and it threw me completely out of my routine. And so I just, at that point, it's almost like that was it.
Yeah,
I just like
that was it, right?
didn't get back into it, and then it just creeps up on you. Time flies, and yeah.
So you had a bad experience in the gym.
Oh, it wasn't the gym.
Okay.
It was just I got sick.
Yeah, being
And,
sick
yeah.
was a setback.
Yeah.
And then the several weeks it took to recover, and it's like, okay, now it's time to get back, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Aaron, what I'd like to do, since like we're getting some traction with our conversation and what may be holding you back and what you could gain from a program with me. So what I'd like to do is take you through a short presentation about the 5 steps I go through with my clients. Is that okay with you?
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to look at this screen here, and this is the presentation we'll go through with you. We're going to start with the 5 steps to achieving your health and fitness goals. And with my philosophy, I want to guarantee that you can go through this program and get something from it. So that's going to be emphasized here. So the first step is define your goals. We've talked about that. You want to lose the 60 pounds. You want to know what you want, right? Losing the 60 pounds, what is that going to give you? You know, is it going to give you more energy? Is it going to give you that mobility you need to live a lifestyle you want to live? Some more things to think about. And then why are your goals important to you? You know, why is it important to lose the weight? Well, you know you'd like to have more energy levels throughout the day. You'd like to keep it off and maintain a healthy lifestyle. How committed are you? I've got you at 8 now, but ultimately we need to get you to a 10.
Okay.
So we need to find out how we're going to do that. You know, the motivation's obviously maybe part of that, getting you to a 10. Your evaluation, this is how we're going to measure your progress. We're going to go through a body fat assessment and see the ratio of body fat to muscle in your body. We're going to go through the circumference measurements, you know, going through the stomach, going through the chest, the hips, the arms, the legs. We want to make sure we know where you're at now, where we can get you progressed over, you know, say that 6 to 12 month program. Photographs, that's an option for you if you want to take a picture of yourself before and after. Nutritional assessment, we'll see what foods you're eating through a diet log, and then we can customize things from there based on how much and what's going to fit you. So step 3, I design the program. There's going to be several components you want to include, 6 of them to be exact, required for the success of your results. First one's going to be nutrition. Definitely want to emphasize that with your program. Supplementation, maybe there's some voids we need to focus on. For example, you know, low energy, some clients like to use B vitamins. That's an example we can use. Resistance training. Strength training is going to be a big part of getting that muscle mass increase to help your metabolism balance out, get that equalized. We're going to do cardiovascular and exercise. Cardio is going to be a big part of this, moving 2 to 3 times a week. 30-minute, 20-minute sessions based on your schedules.
Okay.
Very important. Flexibility, we want to see how your body's moving from the joints. Make sure there's no pain present, especially with certain movements. Coaching, I'm here to support you. I'm here to give you the knowledge you need and the accountability that's going to help you overcome these obstacles motivation-wise. Any questions so far?
No, that's good.
Great. Step 4, we're going to implement the program. I'm going to teach you all the components you need to achieve the serious results. We're going to take action for the first 30 days to develop the best habits possible. What I mean by that is drinking more water, getting adequate sleep, getting adequate movement, getting healthy foods in your diet that are alive and not processed. That's an example that we'll go through, but finding those new habits is really important.
Okay.
And I'm going to provide the accountability by requiring you to keep a daily log, exercise log, and we'll be able to review it together each session and overcome those obstacles through teamwork.
Okay.
All right, and then step 5, we're going to do that 4-week assessment. Make sure we know what's working. At 4 weeks and 6 months, if you'd like to do that, we'll evaluate the program. What are your successes? What are your challenges? What do we need to keep focusing on motivation-wise? How can we continue to improve the program and the results? That's what I'm all about. All right, so how long does a program last? Depending on your goals, motivation, it could go from 3 months up to 12 months, and some clients start 2 times, maybe even 3 times. And I did mention 4 in the past, but it depends on what sort of training frequency you can handle. So, generally starting from 3 or 2. And then we'll transition to maintenance once we reach your goal. It's important to note. My goal is to develop a relationship with you where you're connected to the community and you get what you need, especially as an LT Fitness client. And of course, I'm always here to help. This is a team effort. This is a partnership. And does it really work? Of course it does, because we're going to work together and move towards your goals and over the obstacles. I guarantee it.
Okay.
So here's an example of some results. I have an LT Fitness client. She lost over 34 pounds over a 12-month program. So I know your goal is 60. Who knows what we can accomplish? But the quality of the results is very present here. Look at the before and after. She lost over 38 inches.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So this is a great example of someone who committed 3 times a week. It was a 55-minute program, but we'll just look at what's realistic for your budget. Okay, so I'm going to go into how you want to work with me. You mentioned online training, so we're going to look at those programs. What I suggest we start with is going to be the 6-month, 3 times a week at $710 a month. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, it's worth it.
Great, great. So the next step we want to do, we know we're in the committed program for 6 months. That's $710. We're going to talk about our scheduling. Now, are we able to do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and do possibly an 8 a.m. like we've met before?
Yeah, that should be fine.
Great, great. Okay, so the way it'll work, we'll go to payment. Today will be an upfront cost of the first month of training. Will that work okay with you?
Sure.
Great, great. So I can send you an invoice over email after a consultation, and then we'll go from there. Do you have any questions, Aaron, before we start?
No, I'm looking forward to it.
Great. Well, I'm excited you joined LT Fitness as a client, and we'll schedule our sessions, and I'll send you that invoice soon. And are there any questions before we end our consultation?
No, I'm good.
Great. It was great speaking with you today. Thanks for reaching out. I'm really excited for you to be in this program.
Thank you.
Thank you.